Gina, how are you? Wow. Somebody has a busy weekend ahead of them.
Gotta love studying pre-med. The work is endless.
Well, you did choose the major.
More like my parents did, but yeah.
So you don't like it at all?
It's okay. It doesn't help that blood makes me squeamish, though. I mean, can you imagine a doctor that hates blood? I don't think I can do it.
Well, you better figure that out. I mean, you literally have one semester before you can back out of your major completely.
Don't think I'll be doing that, but thanks.
So, how's life other than that?
The same. Parents getting on my nerves. They want me to join the Future Doctors of the Northern American Association now. It's a ton of paperwork, not to mention numerous tests to see if I'm even qualified. Plus, they're making me start on grad school applications already.
But you're only a junior.
They want me to get a head start. Not only as grad school plan, but the rest of my life too. I'm supposed to get my degree, get a job locally, and then marry a nice, handsome lawyer at age 28, and then have 2 kids. Not 1, but 2. About 2 years apart, and my mom insists on having her babysit them instead of someone else. There's no escaping this. Well, I guess I know what to expect though, so that's good.
Wow. That sounds intense.
Oh, and I've been having a ton of nightmares lately.
Oh. Do the dreams have that guy in it? Because if they do, I doubt they're that bad.
No. Actually, the fact he was running is what prompted it. I've been having these nightmares where I'm running through the woods away from something. I'm not even sure what it is, but I have this uneasy feeling like I'll never be able to get away from it. That it'll just keep coming after me no matter what I do. Do you ever get those?
Oh, no, I don't.
Well, they won't stop. Every night now for over a week, and it's always the same thing. Running through the woods, and then somehow I end up on top of a tall building. Last night it was a parking garage. Then I'm pushed off, and I wake up.
Are you sure it's not guy problems?
What?
You know what? I know what will cheer you up. Let's go on a shopping trip. I know this awesome store that just opened downtown, and the owner, she's really awesome. Like, she travels around and she finds weird and awesome stuff, and then she sells it in her shop. Wouldn't that be an awesome job to have?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that for a living. Okay, I'm in.
Awesome. Ooh, that's really pretty. Would you like for me to buy it for you?
I don't know why I think this will work.
Don't worry, no nightmares can get you here.
What you're doing won't work.
What do you mean it won't work?
Because the way things are, you can never escape those dreams. Those dreams are who you are. They're what you're made of.
What the hell does that mean?
It means, dearie, that those dreams are what you fear most. Those nightmares make up your deep conscious thought. Tell me, are you happy with the way things are in your life right now? Really think about it.
I don't. But what would I be so afraid of that would cause these, though? Those dreams are horrible!
Dive back in and see, dearie. You want those dreams to disappear? Then go back in and face them. Face your fears. See what happens. And this will stop them. You promise? That is entirely up to you.
Hello?
Let's have a conversation.
Who are you?
You know what all those dreams you have had in common?
Please answer me. Who are you?
Me. I'm your future self. You turn into me. I am who you will be. Tell me, how do you think your future will pan out? What's your plan? You do have one, don't you? Oh, I know you do.
I'm...
That's all right, I know. You will go to graduate school. When you're 28, you will marry a man from college who you barely know, but your parents approve of. When you're 31, you'll have a child. A boy whose dark brown eyes will always remind you of your husband. Your husband will cheat on you at 33 because he's bored with you. You'll divorce at 34. You'd ask your friends for help, but you've been so busy, you have none. You die prematurely at 63 of a hemorrhage from all the stress. Oh, you will have the life you planned for. I'm your future. I know what's in store. You can't escape all of this. You can't escape me, dearie. You can't escape what's meant to be.
I don't want that. I don't want to turn into you.
Oh, but you will. You can't run from what you don't know. You can't hide from who you are. It won't matter where you go because I'll always be your shadow.
Every time I push you off, you end up down here and fall right into me, your future. You can't escape it.
Yes, I can. Because this time, it's my decision. I choose my life. I choose who I'm going to be. I'm jumping into my own future. No more parents, no more anyone. Me, my decision.
This isn't a confession. You can't prove anything. Don't even think about it. I've been drinking all night anyway. Everyone knows you can't trust the word of a drunk man. I'm not an alcoholic, you know. Drinking is just a necessary evil. I needed to dull the fear. At least for a little while. It doesn't last. Not anymore. Drink until the fear fades. And then drink some more. 2 weeks ago, a man came to my door. It was late. I couldn't understand why he was all the way out here. But I answered.
Blake, can you help me?
Just stay there. I'll get a phone.
Please. Hello? Hello? Please! Someone help me! I need help! Anyone? Is someone there? Why won't you help me? I'm bleeding. Please. Oh, thank God.
Hi, I'm Officer Freeman from the Asheville Police Department. There was a car accident a few miles down the road and the driver's missing. We're just wondering if anybody has been by here looking for help.
No, sir. Nobody ever comes by here. I haven't seen anybody.
Okay, well, if anybody swings by, anything weird goes on, could you give us a call?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, I
great.
can.
Great night.
See? I don't believe in ghosts. Not afraid of ghosts. I've never believed in them. Probably because I was raised with my very superstitious mother. She made a living as a psychic, telling fortunes. She claimed she had the sight. That she could see a person's fate before it happened. She had a steady stream of clients, gullible ones, that kept the roof over our head and food on our table. So it didn't bother me much. But like any young kid, I rebelled. I rebelled against her and her beliefs. When I left home, I found plenty of things to fuel that rebellion. Psychics aren't real, right? No one can really see the future, right? But I'm afraid that maybe she could see the future. Maybe she could see all those things that were going to happen to those people. I'm afraid. I'm so damn afraid that I can see it now too.
We come out on Wednesdays. Right now, with all of the changes happening, we are only printing 6 times this semester instead of 12. But on Mondays and Tuesdays, we are in this office working away, trying to get the paper out. On the weeks we don't print, we upload a virtual copy of the Blue Banner, and we upload it to, it's called an issue. It's called issue.com. With our social media, we just spread the word that it's out there, and we've actually gotten a lot of really great feedback with it.
We have a pretty small staff, but it's a pretty solid team. People that are really fun, like to go to shows, like to go downtown and go to events and festivals and whatnot. We're just comprised of 2 editors right now and a couple staff writers.
I'm basically our editor-in-chief's assistant. I help her when we are laying out pages. I look over design. I try to help out our copy editor, and then when we're shipping out sending our pages to our publisher, I help her with that process as well. And I'm just kind of the go-to person for like anything that might come up during the publication day.
Being on the track team with UNCA Athletics really helps me as the sports editor, because like I might hear of, you know, some rumors within the athletic department or something, and I can have my writers I can tell my writers to go investigate that and, you know, see if it's true and then write up a story on it. And so I get like the athletic news maybe before like a regular student would. And I'm also able to help my writers get interviews with the athletes a lot easier, just because I might know them or they're friends of friends. So I'm a lot better connected than maybe a normal student would be in that respect.
We spend Monday night doing copy edits and just doing mock-ups of our designs, and then Tuesday is when we finalize everything and make sure that all of the edits are put into the copy and make sure pictures are edited and cropped and look the way they need to look. Originally, I had drawn up our publication schedule before we started the semester, and that was before I knew we had all these setbacks with money. So I had originally drawn up 12 issues like I normally would. And then probably 2 weeks into the semester, we realized that we did not have the money to print all 12 issues. So I sat down and redid the the publication schedule. We pretty much have a contract with our printer saying that these are the weeks that we will print, and we won't change that on you last minute. But like on the weeks that we have a big event at school, like a basketball game, an important basketball game, or just any sporting event really, or any event, any important event, not just sports, those are the weeks that we really try to pump up the virtual issue and just get the word out there even more so that more people see it than they would. And then the weeks that we do print, we have a 10 o'clock deadline to our printer who prints us out of Tennessee, and our paper arrives Wednesday morning by like 3 o'clock, and then we distribute it.
Over the past several years, the media has bombarded us with messages to join the green revolution. Unfortunately, all we are told is to go green without any direction as to how to achieve that goal. Western North Carolina, an agriculturally rich area, has attempted to take a direct step in building a stronger community and bettering our environment with local food.
The word local is really hot right now, and just like other hot buzzwords and trends, it gets washed out and it gets watered down.
The definition of local is a muddled issue, and it wasn't until 2008 with the Food Conservation and Energy Act that the USDA gave its own definition of 400 miles. Appalachian Sustainable Agriculture Project created a different definition, bringing it much closer to home.
For our program, Appalachian Grown, it made sense for us to create the parameters that it has to be a family farm, which means that it can't be owned by a corporation that pays them to grow certain crops for them or certain animals. They have to be within 100 miles of Asheville. Our area is actually like an oblong oval that runs with the mountains. It puts a little bit more validity behind the local movement, and it puts transparency in that information just in itself. To see the Appalachian Grown logo on something, then you know those parameters right away. You don't have to have any guesswork.
The strong focus on local food in Western North Carolina is bringing more people together as they build intimate communities around food.
I grew up here, so supporting local agriculture is kind of innate. It's part of being a part of the community that I grew up in. One of our main farmers, Kendall, was a groomsman in our wedding, is a dear friend of Greg and ours, and he provides a lot of our produce. He also comes and picks up our compost and takes it to feed his pigs with. So we have this whole circle that's being completed. He eats here regularly too. So it is definitely building a community. It's taking a workplace environment and spreading it throughout the community, where you have people that you're required to talk to on a day-to-day basis to make things happen. And when you branch out into the community in that way, when you have to talk to a farmer to get your food for that coming week, then obviously it does increase the community feeling and increase the awareness.
This conference is an annual event, and it's a great time for, especially in this session, which is the Buyers Luncheon, for producers to connect to buyers, and also we rely on these buyers to educate these farmers. And sometimes the farmers actually educate the buyers a lot too. So this is an invaluable resource to all the people that are here today. Overall, this conference is an excellent resource for farmers, and it's an excellent resource for ASAP volunteers and employees, just to connect to all the people that are part of this movement and part of the producers that we've never even seen before, but we've talked on the phone with a million times, and now I'm putting a name to the face, and it's a great connecting weekend, and I'm thrilled to be here, and I think everybody that comes in the door today is going to have something great to walk away with.
No, I think that big food has gotten so big that people have begun to feel like it's disconnected from what they want. And food is a pretty personal thing, you put it in your body, and so People want more of a personal connection and somebody to hold accountable for that. And our food system's gotten so big that it no longer feels accountable to the average consumer. And that's a problem for the industry. And so, by having a face to a product, it really brings it home and makes it right.
We feel really close with a lot of our members, and especially the ones that keep coming back and come and work here with us. We definitely feel like we've bonded with them, and some of them even make food for us. Like we have one woman in our CSA who she makes zucchini bread and squash bread and stuff out of the zucchinis that we give her, and then she brings us these breads, and so it's it's definitely a more intimate relationship that we have, and we like that.
According to the 2007 Census of Agriculture, Western North Carolina had 11,533 farms operating 922,772 acres, which comprises a grand sum of 15% of total Western North Carolina land area. In 2011, over 3,800 CSA shares were offered, and since the implementation of Appalachian-grown branding, more and more money has been fueled into the local food economy in Western North Carolina.
More of those dollars will be circulating in our economy, which will then provide jobs for you and your daughter and your neighbor, and those sort of spillover benefits are good for our economy. They also help us build what we call community capital, which is something that a lot of people talk about when we talk about the sort of feel-good benefits of buying local. Getting to know your neighbor, getting to know your food, making connections with people, seeing the same faces every week at the tailgate market. These are all important connections for a community to have, because when times are good, we can sort of share good news and have fun together. But also, if we have a bit more social or community capital when times are bad, when there are risks or challenges, then we have a better network to rely on. And so the community capital or the social capital that we build through these networks and the knowledge that we have about local food and who produces it and why can allow our economy to be a bit more resilient.
The incorporation of local food into a daily routine educates and empowers both children and adults alike.
Seeing that epiphany of a child, kind of get it, oh, my food, that carrot grows in the ground, or this farmer in my community is this rock star that, grows the food for our school, or milk comes out of a goat or a cow. What's interesting is we see this knowledge increase in children, but we also see it in all the adults, so the teachers, the parents. So it is true that children don't know where their food comes from, but a bunch of adults don't either. Again, along the lines of how children got excited about recycling or about no smoking and took those lessons home, we really see that strong a comparison with the farm to school programming. Schools are kind of like microcosms of communities, so it's a great way to, if you're going to do any kind of local food work in a community, starting with farm to school makes all the sense in the world, because it's a great way to build that community, build health, build upon the educational experience. You kind of get all those benefits in one type of work. So you need that buy-in, and not just from the children, but from the kind of the larger school community. So I think those educational components are just as vital as actually getting that local product into the school meal.
I think that the connection to the earth is really, really huge for people, and it can change their relationship to their earth. And I don't know that you can do that very well without putting your hands in the soil and growing something and feeling that feeling. It's not just enough to eat the food. For many people, it's you don't really feel it until you're here and you put your hands in the earth. The people that do the work shares, they're making a financial commitment and they're coming out here and working. So they get really invested in the farm. And in an ideal world, I would like to have all of my members coming out here and working.
All in all, there's more to the story than simply going green. Supporters of local food are doing more than helping our environment. They're building communities, strengthening our economy, and educating the public on how to live healthier lives.
I identify as transgendered. I've kind of always felt like a boy since like a young age, and coming out was talking to my friends about it, and I was really lucky because everyone in my friend circle that I came out to was very supportive. They all kind of said, you know, this really doesn't take me by surprise. I still love you, still support you. And then I came out to my parents kind of around Thanksgiving break. They kind of had the same reaction. They said they still love me and support me, but it's more difficult for them because for 22 years they've been calling me by my birth name and using female pronouns. So they've yet to change that. They still do that. And then I've got twin brothers, and I came out to them in December, and they said that there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and they don't think it's going to be difficult to change from my birth name to Keegan.
I was about 39 years old. I was married when I was 25 and was living a straight life, and life was good. I had a great job. I had a beautiful home. I had a wife who loved me, and by anybody looking outside into my life would have thought it was fabulous. Mm-hmm. But I was miserable and very unhappy. So at that time I went to see a therapist. First time in my life I'd seen a therapist. In my family, seeing a therapist was the ultimate form of weakness. But anyway, saw the therapist, and we thought it was a career crisis. And eventually he came back and said, Randy, you're in the perfect career. It's not that. And so then I went to another therapist and blurted out that I was gay. And that began a journey of really coming into my own and getting a sense of who I am.
Well, I had multiple coming outs. My first coming out as queer identified or lesbian was when I was 18, and I was at Mount Holyoke College, and it was a women's college. And my twin sister, came out like a month or two before, and so it was kind of an easy process. A lot of people expected it since my twin, so it was actually that was easy. Coming out as trans when a couple years ago, maybe when I was 20, was probably the more difficult, and I feel like I'm still having to coming out as trans every single day because no one gets it. So
I identify as genderqueer, which is complicated in its own right and so simple to me it's not even funny. Explaining it's kind of hard, I guess. The cookie cutter format that I've come down to explain it to everybody is I'm attracted to girls, and well, I'm attracted to female-bodied people, but I don't see myself as a female necessarily. I find aspects of male and female both to be who I am, so I incorporate those into my gender.
Yeah, I think first of all, don't give up on your parents. Remember, they're going through the struggle that you have just overcome, and so now they're just starting that struggle. So you have to have, number one, a little patience. The second thing, in the extended family, there are probably people who you can talk to.
I am Joe Hoffman. I'm the senior minister at First Congregational United Church of Christ in Asheville. A third to a half of our congregation is probably LGBTQ. It wasn't always that way. It wasn't that way when I came in 1996. So we have done a lot of work to create that, where we're an open and affirming community, welcoming of all people. It's been a wonderful thing for our church because it has opened us to people that don't traditionally go to churches because they feel excluded, and brought us a diversity of gifts and talents that we were really glad to have.
I was ordained in 1986 as a Presbyterian minister, and I think it was about 6 years ago I switched my ordination from the Presbyterian Church to UCC because I discovered over the years that historically they've been much more progressive and much more justice-oriented church. They've been kind of on the front line for every major issue. So,
yeah, this was about 7 years ago. I made the decision that I could no longer. It became clear to me that simply because I got ordained, I was given the privilege and the power to, when I did a wedding, to give these rights and privileges to people who were married. And there's over 1,100 rights and privileges that the LGBTQ community doesn't have. And when that really struck with me, it hit me that I was being an agent of the state. I was a participant in this discrimination. And when I got clear on that, I said, I cannot do that anymore.
we are the couple who went to the deeds office to ask for a marriage license and were denied, and did an act of civil disobedience. And we're in the court process now over that case.
The first time I used like the men's room was like at a mall in like a different city, and it like felt so great to like be in there and whatnot. But like even at work, I walked into the men's room, and then I guess somebody was like, "Hey, she just walked in there, like what's going on?" And someone like just explained like, you know, that's not really any of your business. They go by he, and you know, that's that.
I get bullied subversively in the classroom. I get bullied in the, like here at UNCA even. I get bullied out in the street when I go to, if I go to, the 1 or 2 times I go to Walmart, I got like harassed. Get bullied in the park by homeless people. I mean, it happens. Yeah, the hate happens. It's there. It's everywhere.
Senior year was actually all through high school, was rough as crap. And not just because I was gay, but that definitely added to the hardship of it. Of the already hard life that I had, being queer on top of it just was the cherry. But you gotta keep going, because you gotta be like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, this is my life, and I'm gonna be happy with it. And that's what I did. I ended up graduating when people were like, this kid's not going to do anything. This kid.
Try to find a way to put it in perspective, because where it is right now is not the way it's going to be, you know, next week, next month, next year, you know, and if you can manage to get through this trough, you know, this too will pass, and try to, but of course the hardest thing for a young person is to have perspective, and you know, the more stuff you experience and go through, the more you realize that there's highs and lows in life. It's really hard to know that when you're young, and it just seems really grim. I'd probably ask them if they want to come live with us.
I didn't think I would ever come to this point, but I am happy that we know, and we know from our hearts, our son, and that he's gay, and that it's opened this whole new world for us.
Mostly be true to yourself, yeah, be who and you be are. honest, and you know, you know, I mean, I guess not honest if you can't, if you're fearing for your life or so, you know, or something, but hiding who you are from yourself and anybody else is not going to be pretty. You know, it's just going to get more and more difficult, and we're real into speaking our minds and plumbing the depths and, you know, and not hiding.
What am I proud of? That I'm alive. There were many times that I didn't think I would be. That I didn't think I'd be able to look at people and say it does get better, but I can.
And things do get better. It's hard to think about that, you know, in that moment, but they do get better. So there's a lot worth living for, so just, I guess, you know, get help.
Because my whole life has been about doing and about achieving and making things happen, and that was the way that I got value. And what I realized is that that's not what's really important in this world. What's really important is just to simply be who we are.
My name is Autumn Spiegels.
Oh, my name is Amir Khayat.
I identify as Orthodox.
I identify as Orthodox, and I've lived as an Orthodox person for 20 years of my life, because my family, you know, I grew up Orthodox with my family. My grandmother's Orthodox, my sister Orthodox enough, that kind of thing. My mother's whole family is Orthodox, and so that's just what that's what I've been with. That's what I identify as. And so, you know, I don't feel like we're that different from everybody else, but at the same time, yes, we are different than everybody else, because we do certain things that remind us every day of Hashem, and we kind of make an extra effort to keep Hashem, you know, in the forefront of your mind all the time. And so, I feel like that's the main difference. Like, you know, as an Orthodox person, we follow halacha strictly as it was handed down by the rabbis, and so. And, you know, it's a little different than other branches of Judaism, which may, you know, choose which they like or not accept any of it and write new laws for themselves. So that's how I would say we're different.
I feel that non-Jewish people sort of have this vendetta against the Jews, and I feel that they, again, it's because of not understanding where we come from, and I think for people who are raised Christian, it's also not really understanding where they come from, because they come from Judaism. Christianity comes from Judaism. So I just feel that it's just a lot of misunderstanding.
I feel like they think that it's, like, a lot of problems that religion have caused, I feel like they blame on our book, our Torah, but I don't think that's true. Because, like, if you'll read it, it never says everybody has to be like us. I mean, we feel like Torah, those rules, those are our rules. It's not to be exclusive, it's just these are the rules that we feel that Hashem has commanded us to follow, and He hasn't commanded everyone else to follow them, but if they want to, they can, by being Jewish. But we don't feel like they're applied to everybody. Like, there are rules, and they're using, like, some Christian sects are using passages from our Torah to hate other groups of people, especially like the homosexuals and stuff like that. They're using passages from the Torah to hate them, and that is not what Torah ever intended. Like, even in Orthodoxy, like, we don't hate homosexuals. Like, I mean, in Israel, there are homosexual couples that make it work. And in Judaism, it can work, But it's just to show that, like, this Christian extremism, they're taking, passage from Torah and they're turning it to, like, hate speech. And, like, in Orthodoxy, we don't really care,
In the Orthodox community, it's a very touchy subject. People don't really like to talk about it, and but there are people in the Orthodox community, including myself, who have found a way to make it work. In the conservative movement, it's divided. It depends on where you are, where you fall on that continuum, and some people are very much like the Orthodox and don't want to talk about it, and there are other communities where it really doesn't even matter. And in the Reform movement, pretty much anyone is accepted, and it never really has been an issue.
Homosexuality in Judaism, like, we have the different branches and their approaches. The more liberal branches tend to be, okay, more open with it. They'll even allow marriages and stuff like that. In Orthodoxy, from my experience in Israel, because in America I don't know any homosexual Orthodox couples, but in Israel I do actually know a couple, and he's part of runnings of a film school. And so he and his partner, they live together as Orthodox Jews. Like, they go to shul, they wear tzitzit, they wear kippah, they pray. He was talking to us about how it's not impossible in Orthodoxy, but you just have to be careful. Like, the Torah says that basically the prohibition is no sodomy, no anal sex. And so he says that's how you live, but he says there are all kinds of other sex. So, like, Orthodox homosexuals, they make it work, and they live full lives, they live Orthodox lives. And so that's it, and I feel like that's, it's much different than other people see it.
I feel that being a lesbian, that I have been very blessed to have been raised Jewish, and to have, and I also feel that had I been raised in any other major religion, I feel that it might not have been so easy.